Measures and records blood pressure. Candidate enters the room and approaches the client, explains the procedure, speaking clearly, slowly, and directly, maintaining face-to-face contact whenever possible. Stethoscope with alcohol. Client's arm is positioned with palm up and upper arm exposed. Feels for the brachial artery on the inner aspect of the arm at the bend of the elbow. Places blood pressure cuff snugly on client's upper arm with sensor arrow over brachial artery site. Earpieces of stethoscope are in ears and bell diaphragm is over brachial artery site. Candidate inflates the cuff between 160 millimeters of mercury to 180 millimeters of mercury. If the beat is heard immediately upon cuff deflation, completely deflate the cuff. Reinflate the cuff to no more than 200 milligrams of mercury. Deflates the cuff slowly and notes the first sound, systolic reading, and the last sound, diastolic reading. If rounding is necessary, measurements are rounded up to the nearest 2 millimeters of mercury. Removes the cuff. Signaling device is within reach. Washes hands before recording. Step 12 is the critical element. After obtaining the reading using the blood pressure cuff and stethoscope, records both systolic and diastolic pressures within plus or minus of 8 millimeters of mercury of the evaluator's reading. Additional teaching tips. The candidate must place the client's arm in the proper position. The volunteer client is not to place her arm out with the palm up until instructed to do so by the candidate. In step 4, teach the student to feel for its pulse, to locate the brachial artery, but if they cannot locate it, they should just proceed with the skill and not announce that they can't find it. The cuff must be placed high enough on the client's arm to allow for proper placement of the diaphragm of the stethoscope on the arm without it being under the blood pressure cuff. This causes artifacts to be heard and may result in an inaccurate reading. In step 7 now, the two-step option is eliminated. Remember, in step 8, teach students it is the first and last distinctive sounds that they hear that they should be recording. They are not to be recording the very last faint maybe sound they hear. Remember, there are 4 sounds to a blood pressure. It is actually the middle 2 that are recorded. And in step 11, the student must wash their hands before moving on to step 12.